Hello, America. London calling.
I'm very, very lucky today to be here with the fantastic musical theatre performer, Mr. Andrew Robley.
Thank you very much.
Nice of you to come and
I'm
join us.
excited to be here.
Oh, that's really nice. Now, your career started really, really early, didn't it?
It did, yes. I was a child star, so they say, at the age of 7.
And you had a hit record at the age of 8. Tell us about that.
I did, yes. I used to do what they call the God slot on a Sunday evening on British television. They had either choral music or hymns and things like that. And they were looking for a blue-eyed, blonde little choir boy to sing the signature tune, and they couldn't find anybody, so they asked me. So I was really thrilled, and we did this particular song, which was the title to the show, and it just hit the right spot at the right time, and ended up on top of the pops at the age of 7 in a little cassock and a ruff in the midst of all these punk rockers and everything. It was just bizarre, but absolutely fabulous.
You recently performed at Buckingham Palace, and it's not the first time that you've performed for the royal family. Tell us about that.
Well, it was very exciting. It was for the Queen's wedding anniversary, and I was asked to go along, and having been very fortunate to appear for the royal family quite a few times now, it was very exciting because I'd never actually been to Buckingham Palace. I'd been to all their other palaces and estates and everything like that, but never Buckingham Palace. And I arrived, and they asked me if I would like to meet the Queen and Prince Philip before the concert, because they wouldn't have time to see me afterwards. And
did you do it?
And so I did. So I went in, and I was so excited, and I was wearing a tie that my musical director had given me. Very sadly, he passed away, but I wanted to wear something of him because he was such a royalist. And but it was a very loud tie, a Harlequin style tie. And Prince Philip walked in, and before he'd even got anywhere near me, he said, "My goodness, boy, that's a tie and a half." He said, "There must be a story behind that." So of course I told him the story about Roy, and then the door opened and the corgis came in, and that's usually a sign that the Queen comes. I was standing in my best behaviour, and she didn't appear, just the dogs, and the dogs then took quite a liking to one of my legs, and I was getting quite paranoid that I was at Buckingham Palace, hitting it off with one of the corgis, and the Prince Philip said, "Oh, they seem to like you," and that's why I had 2 dogs of my own, and anyway, this dog was very, very friendly, so I knelt down and I was rubbing its tummy, and it was on its back and it was waving its legs in the air, and they said, "Oh, you've made a hit there," and I said, "Yes, I seem to," and then I looked up and there was a pair of black court shoes in my highline, and the Queen had walked in, and I hadn't known, and here's me rubbing this dog's stomach, and I'm thinking, "Oh my goodness, what am I going to do?" So I was trying to get up, being very dignified, and I couldn't remember whether I had to curtsy or bow at the same time, so I was making quite sure of myself, and she said, "Susie seems to like you." And I said, "Who's Susie?" And she said, "The dog." And I said, "Oh yes." I said, "We seem to hit it off very well, actually." But she was lovely, absolutely lovely. She was a great lady. Actually, the Queen said, she said, "What are you doing at the moment?" And I'd just been in America doing The Phantom, and she said, "Oh, I haven't seen that, you know." And I said, "Oh," I said, "Right." I said, "It's a very good show." I said, "I can get you tickets if you want." And she said, "Oh, that's very interesting." And she said, "And which part do you play?" And I said, "I play the Phantom." And she said, "Do you mean that one?" And I said, "Yes, that's the one." So all my nerves had gone by that.
You appeared on Broadway. Was that the role that you were talking about?
Yes, yeah. I've appeared quite a few times in America now, which I adore. The American audience is just phenomenal.
And now, talking of royalty, of course, we have to mention your passion for Dame Julie Andrews.
The legend that is. Yes, she is an amazing lady.
You met Julie Andrews. What happened?
I did. We were in a show, and we were all in the auditorium, just watching the rest of the show rehearse. and a lot of the sponsors were in the room as well, and so you were sort of mixed with everybody, and I was sitting on the front row just watching, sitting next to these two gentlemen, and Julie Andrews walked on, and I just lost all control and went absolutely berserk, as did everybody else in the theatre. The unfortunate thing was I then found out, to my shame, that the gentleman that I was sitting next to was blind, and he didn't know what I was jumping and screaming about, but also he had his dog under the chair, and the dog came up and the dog started barking because he thought I was attacking the man. And all this while Julie Andrews is trying to perform, and she just sees this deranged man trying to scream and clamour for her while this dog was going. Dogs sort of appear quite regularly in my life for different reasons. But she was so nice, and we went to meet her afterwards, and everybody was lined up to meet her, and she did it to everybody. She said, "How do you do? I'm Julie Andrews," and she got to me and she said, "How do you do? I'm Julie Andrews," and I went, and she said, "Thank you," and then moved to the next person. I've waited all my life and I've just ruined it. So I ran to the end of the queue, and when she got to the end and she went, "Haven't I just seen you?" And I said, "You have." I said, "I'm so sorry." I said, "I've waited all my life." I said, "I've just ruined it, but I have to tell you everything. I'm just madly in love with you." So I think she thought that was quite strange.
Now, you won Entertainer of the Year. How exciting is that?
It was very, very exciting.
And it wasn't just once, you won it 3 times.
I did indeed, yes. A
Yes.
hat-trick. I was very proud. And you can't win it anymore after that.
Really?
So you've got it.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted one. I don't like odd numbers, I just wanted another one.
That's it for this week. Back to you in the studios, Arthur.